I'm going to start off with a verse, Romans 5:8, that says, "But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." So I want to tell you a quick story. So aside from being the kids director at my church, my mom's also a hairstylist. And one thing she hates most is when people try to do their own hair and they completely fail. So I decided it'd be a great idea for me to fix my hair one night. I'd woken up to use the bathroom and I looked in the mirror and thought my hair looked uneven. So I cut off a giant piece of my hair. When I had woken up in the morning, I was getting ready next to my mom, and already that was a terrible idea. She started questioning me about what happened to my hair, and I thought I could get away with telling her that my hair just fell out when I was sleeping. But I knew that was not the right decision. For 20 minutes, I lied to her. My mom was not happy with me, but something I remember is that she still loved me in the midst of my mistake. Romans 5:8 reminds us of how we need to learn to accept God's love. And to help us remember that, I created an acronym for love. My first point, L, is how Jesus laid down his life for us. John 10:11, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep." Shepherds have a flock of sheep. It's their job to protect them, so when anyone or anything comes to try to attack the sheep, it's the shepherd's job to protect them and lay down his life for those sheep. Jesus was just like that on the cross. That's why he referred to himself as the good shepherd. We are his sheep, and God sent him as our shepherd to lay his life down so we could be free. That leads me to my second point, O, of how Jesus died with open arms. I remember a long time ago when my parents first got divorced, I'd stay at my grandma's house sometimes, and I'd wake up with these bad dreams. And every single time I'd go running to my grandma, every single time her arms would be open wide, showing me her love as I ran to her. Jesus was just like that when he was being crucified. His arms were open wide on the cross. That was a picture of his willingness to accept us into his family, no matter what we've done. He also vacated his royal throne in heaven. Hebrews 4:15 says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin." So Jesus vacated his royal throne to come be like us. When my dad and my stepmom had first gotten married, I remember there were lots of fights and arguments. And as a 6-year-old girl, this was hard for me to watch. It was hard for me to listen to. And my mom would try to comfort me and tell me it's gonna be okay. But I always told her, "You don't know what I'm going through. You've never gone through this. How could you know?" But the thing is, we serve this king who actually knows what we're going through. He knows what mistakes we've made, and he still continues to love us. He doesn't say bow down and worship me because I'm king. He says worship me because I've experienced what you've gone through, and I know exactly what it's like, and I still love you for that. His love for us was so strong, he vacated his royal throne. God's love for us was so strong that he elevated Jesus when he died. 1 Corinthians 6:14 says, "And God raised the Lord and will also raise us up by his power." This is amazing news for us because this means there's a promise, a pinky promise from God that when we die, that's not it. We will die and rise again just as our King Jesus did. God says, "I'm not going to watch my children die in their sins. I'm going to raise them up and rid them of those shackles of sin and death that hold them down." And in the same way I knew my mom still loved me in the midst of making the mistake of cutting my hair, we need to learn to accept love. That Jesus laid down his life so we could be free. He died with arms open wide. He vacated his royal throne in heaven, and not only was he elevated when he died, but we will be elevated too when we die. That's all because of the love God has for us.